Hey everyone, so this video is going to be me reviewing the paint pots from MAC and kind of different ways to apply them, and I'm also going to be doing some comparisons with other famous cream eyeshadows. So I'm only going to be reviewing 6 of them, and that's Soft Ochre, Bare Study, Rubenesque, Indianwood, Constructivist, and Blackground. I also have Coral Crepe, which is this one, but it is limited edition and you cannot get this anymore, so I'm not going to review it in just a basic coral color, so not going to be reviewing that one, but I will go through the other 6, so before I run out of time, let's get started. The first one I'm going to talk about is Soft Ochre, and there's also another one called Painterly, and that one is more for pink skin tone people, and I think I should have gotten Painterly over this one. This one is Soft Ochre, and it's a yellow skin tone base, and the skin tone matte colors are the best for bases for eyeshadows. These do not crease. I'll say that for all of them. All 6, or I guess 7 of them that I own have never creased on me once. I do not use this one that much, mainly because it is so yellow. It's like a concealer to me, and I feel like it's a little bit too yellow for my skin. It does do a very good job of canceling out redness. If you have red on your eyelid, this is a lifesaver for you. It'll work really, really well. Or you can just use a concealer. So there's a swatch of it. I'll put it on my hand so you can see right there. So you can see it's a little bit yellow, but it's a good paint pot. I really should use it more often. I think this video is going to bring me to want to use these more often. Next one is going to be Bare Study, and this is by far one of my favorites, favorite paint pots, that is. It's a shimmery nude champagne, how do you say that, champagne color. So it looks like so. And I'll swatch it next to Soft Ochre here. And for better swatches, I did a full blog review on these as well, so you can check out that link in the bottom bar because that has better pictures of swatches on there. So that is Bare Study, just really, really pretty shimmery. I'm wearing it today under NARS eyeshadow, the Duo Silk Road, the lighter shade. If you don't know what that looks like, you can check Sephora's website. It's one of my favorite NARS duos. Okay, so the next one is Rubenesque, and this one is probably one of the most talked about ones on YouTube. It's an orangey sort of color. It's good for a bronze base if you're going to do a bronze look. This one's probably my most used one, especially when I first got it. So that's what it looks like on the finger. And then again on the hand. So you can see it there. Really, really gorgeous color. Definitely worth picking up just as a staple. I think it's a staple in a lot of people's paint pot collections. Okay, so the next one is Indianwood, and this one was a long time coming for me to get because it took me so long to track this thing down. It was sold out every time I went to the store. Online, it was just sold out everywhere, so I finally purchased it online. But it's like another bronze color, but it's a lot deeper of a brown instead of an orangey base. And this one for some reason is a lot creamier. So you can see it there. It's just really, really opaque and thick and creamy. This one you have to be careful working with because it's not sheer, so where you put it, it's going to be. So you got to really work fast with it, or just have a little bit more control. Use a light hand when you're picking it up with your finger or your brush, because this will get everywhere and they're hard to remove without makeup remover, and you don't want to do that to mess up the rest of your face. But one of my favorite paint pots, really, really beautiful for a bronze look as well. Okay, so the next one is Constructivist, and this is the darkest bronze shade they have. As you can tell, it's a gorgeous color. I love this one. Really super dark. Again, you gotta be careful with these last 3 are the dark ones. You gotta be careful with. These 3, you can kind of just go with it if it gets elsewhere. These top 3 that I'm going to show you are really, really messy. But this one has kind of like a red tone to it. It's not so brown, not as like bronze as Indianwood, let's say, but It's a really nice color, especially if you're going to do kind of like a smoky bronze look. I think that looks really pretty. Okay, so the last one I'm going to talk about is Blackground. And I feel like a lot of people own this one. I do not use it that much because it is so deep of a color, it's just black, that I cannot find different ways to use it. Plus it's severely messy and time consuming because you have to be so particular with it, where you put it, because it is so dark. You can see there. But it's a true black cream eyeshadow. And these in general are just really, really nice consistencies. They're really smooth, very pigmented, as you can tell by the top 3 swatches. That was just me swirling my finger around in it once. The bottom 3 are the more sheer ones that I have. Personally, I prefer using the sheer ones on an everyday basis because they're easy to just slather on and go. These can also be worn by themselves, but I have never personally done that, but I know that they can be worn by themselves. I would personally wear maybe Bare Study or Rubenesque by themselves if it was just a slow day or something and I just wanted to slap something on. So now that we're done with the swatches, I'm going to talk about different ways of applying these. Obviously you can just use your finger. I use my ring finger when I apply these, and you can just swirl it in and just apply it. If you're going to be using any of these top 3 shades, I really, really recommend using a brush. And there's 2 different brushes that I like to use. The first one is the Sigma SS217. I do not know what the new number of it is because I don't own it. But it's just this fluffy white brush. And what you do is you just swirl it. I won't actually swirl it, but you swirl it in there. Just pick up some product or even tap it on the tip and you'll be able to see it because the bristles are white, and then you'll just swipe it on very carefully as if you're putting on an eyeshadow. And that way you can place it where you want it without it being extremely messy. Just a good brush to do this with. The next brush I like to use with these is the SS252 or the E60 large shader brush. This in general is probably my favorite Sigma brush, just because it's so versatile. I use it for pretty much everything. So what you can do is just pick up some of the product like you would an eyeshadow, and then just either tap it on or just blend it out like you would an eyeshadow. Really, really simple. Just a really good brush to do this with just because it's flat, and again you can just put it where you want. You can even put some on the tip and use it like an eyeliner and apply it that way. That's another good tip for me to segue into. I have used Blackground as an eyeliner. It works perfect. It's just like a gel eyeliner to me. I do set it with something like Carbon from MAC eyeshadow just to make sure it doesn't move because it's not meant to be an eyeliner, so you know it could rub off. It's not going to set like an eyeliner would, like a liquid or anything. So I do recommend if you're going to be using these for eyeliner, which you definitely can, don't feel afraid, you know, experiment with these. Definitely set it with an eyeshadow because you don't want it to move. So I'm going to do some comparisons with 2 other cream eyeshadows. There's a NARS cream eyeshadow in Savage. And this one I do not use that often simply because I have Indianwood and they're very similar, and I do not like the consistency I like. I do not like the end result of these eyeshadows. The NARS cream eyeshadows tend to crease severely bad on me, even with a base under it. I just prefer reaching for Indianwood if I want to do a bronze look. I love the color of this. It's not exactly like Indianwood. I don't own an exact color for this. Overall, it's a really pretty color. I'll swatch it. But it's not something that I use on an everyday basis simply because I own other colors that are similar. So I went ahead and put it right there. So see, Indianwood is a lot deeper as well and more creamy. And then Savage by NARS is just really not crease resistant. So obviously who wants an eyeshadow, a cream eyeshadow that's going to crease. The last cream eyeshadow I'm going to talk about is the Benefit Krista's cream eyeshadow in Birthday Suit, which is my favorite cream eyeshadow of all time. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I like this better than the paint pots, and I think it's good to have an opinion differing other people's, I guess, to show you a product that I like more than the paint pot. These are more expensive. I think these are $18, $19, $19. But their color range is superior to MAC's paint pots. So there it is right there. This is basically a cream eyeshadow version of Satin Taupe from MAC. I use this as a base if I'm doing a satin taupe look, and it just works so perfectly with it. Overall, my favorite cream eyeshadow ever, tops any MAC paint pot. So there you have my paint pot collection. Again, I just went over the ones that are not limited edition, so if you're interested in learning about coral crepe more, it's on my blog, check that out. If you do check out my blog, I did not have Constructivist at the time. That's my most recent paint pot purchase, so that won't be in the review online on the blog, but definitely go check that out if you want better swatches, better photos, things like that. I take pictures of all of them, so do check that out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it was helpful to you picking out which ones you may want to purchase, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.